11 people got killed that morning, but I was one of the lucky ones who survived. They were on a foot patrol trying to locate the enemy, and then instead they wound up in a minefield. And then somebody tripped accidentally the wire to the mines, and the mine exploded. Well, the soldier had gotten wounded and he was on the ground, and then somebody yelled for medic. So I went over to where he was on the ground and bent over and was dressing his wounds and had finished dressing his wounds and stopped the bleeding. Then I called in for the litter bearers to come and pick him up to take him to the helicopter. And the litter bearers, somebody's foot must have tripped off a wire and another landmine went off. The guy that I was treating, he got hit the second time. And then that's when I got hit, because it was just a mass explosion of sharp metal pieces of shrapnel flying through the air. So after I got wounded, I had the strength to dress my own wounds since I was the medic. There wasn't no point in calling the medic because I was the medic. And the guys were yelling, "Medic, medic, medic." I said, "Well, wait a minute, I've been wounded too." So I dressed my own wound, and then I crawled around to dress the wounds of others who had gotten wounded too. They had stretchers on the side, on either side of the helicopters. And I was conscious as to what was happening. And I was praying and hoping that the Chinese did not shoot us out of the air as we were flying back behind the front lines to the Master Army Hospital. Well, the day I left Korea, I left on a hospital ship. And I looked out that window and I looked at them hills and them valleys, and I saw Mama San and Papa San just teeming with people. So I looked out that window and I looked at Korea for one last time. I said to myself, if I never see Korea again, it'll be too soon for me. So that's how I felt about it. I never want to go back there again.